What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching another video. Today we're going to be installing a 034 Motorsport adjustable rear sway bar in my Audi S3. Right, guys, so the first thing that I did was remove the back section of the Catback exhaust. It's very simple, and I suggest you do this, although it's not necessary because it gives you a lot more room to work when you're going to be removing and installing the new sway bar. So all you need to do, I didn't show it on film, I just did it really quickly, is there's two 13mm bolts on each side that hold that bracket to the hanger. That comes off. Then you need to just disconnect the valves right there on each side, and then you're going to disconnect the end section of the exhaust and then remove that hanger. It's very simple, should take you only like 5 minutes to get it off. Now we have the whole rear of the car exposed, which is exactly what we want so that we can remove the sway bar, which is right ahead right here. With the Catback exhaust in place, it's very hard to move and maneuver the sway bar around everything. A lot of people get by by just dropping it a little bit, but I decided just to take it out so I have no issues whatsoever going forward. So all we need to do, guys, and it's going to be the same on each side, so I don't have to show you each side. I actually also removed the height sensor. It's 225 T-Torx, so you could just take that off, T25, and all we need to do now is, let me focus this a little bit and brighten it up. So you're gonna have two M10 triple squares. You're gonna need to use triple squares for this. So there's one for the top section of the bracket, and then there's gonna be one, let me see if I can get the camera under there, and then there's the second one. So we need to remove both of these T10s to remove this side, and we're gonna have to do the other side as well. And then this is going to be a 13mm bolt to take off the bottom of the sway bar link. All right, guys, so the first thing that we need to do is remove this 13mm screw with the nut. You have to counter hold it so that you're able to zip it off, because obviously if it's tight, it's just gonna spin on the other side. So I'm gonna do one side with my impact, I'm gonna hold the other side, and it should just zip right off. Okay, so we got the nut, and now you might have to just tap this out. If you have like a mallet, you should be able to just tap this out and it'll shoot it out so that the sway bar link will be loose now. Alright, so I already removed the bolt for this one, so now this sway bar link is good to go. I already removed this side as well, so this side is good to go. Now we're going to be working with the M10 triple square. So we remove this bracket over here, and then we got to remove the other bracket that's identical on the other side. And again, guys, it's mandatory. You need a M10 triple square socket. If you don't have triple squares, this is a job that you're not going to be able to do. So I'm going to leave a link down below in the description of the ones that I used in today's video. They're very affordable and they're very good quality. And before we continue, guys, these are the triple squares that I'm using in today's video by a company called Lexavon. They are super affordable, really good quality, really nice set, and they have up from M4 all the way up to M18 triple squares for really anything you need European. The link to these are in my Amazon store in the description of this video. Alright, guys, so the passenger side is off. Now we're going to work on the driver's side to remove the M10 triple squared. And the bottom one. Alright, guys, so now that we have both sides out, the bolt for the sway bar link is out, all the brackets are all taken out with the bolts, this is going to be loose, and we should be able to just pull this out with some maneuvering. Should just here we have the old sway bar, and definitely I recommend you guys to remove the catback. That was so easy. In some of the videos that I've seen, people struggle to get around the catback. So everything now is all off the car, and I'm going to show you the new 034 Motorsport one. All right, guys, so here we have the new 034 Motorsport's rear sway bar. It is adjustable, so we have two settings here that you could choose from. If you choose the inside setting, that's going to be the stiffer setting. It's 52% stiffer of a rate increase from factory. And if you choose the softer setting, which is what I'm going to be using, I'm going to go softer just because I don't track the car. This is more just for fun and back road driving, so I don't need the car to be extremely overly stiff than it is stock. This is 37% increase from the factory, and it comes with all new hardware, some new brackets, new little bushings, new hardware for the screws to go into the actual car, some washers, and some lube grease for the install. So it gives you everything that you need. Also guys, I went with an OEM style rear sway bar link instead of getting the adjustable ones. Only reason why, it is a little more cost effective, and because again, I'm not tracking the car, I'm not going to be doing anything crazy with the car. I didn't see it was necessary to spend over, you know, $150 for some adjustable sway bar links. So I got an OEM style one, brand new, which will still work really well, and it'll replace the old crusty ones that have been on the car for so long that I'd rather just not put them back. So new style, so these are going to be put on. All right guys, so I'm going to be lubing up the inside of the bushing here with the provided grease that they give. I don't want to overdo it, but I want to put just enough so that it moves around freely when I put it on the actual sway bar. So just move it around. So should be able to just slide on, and just to give it a good little twist while you put on the sway bar. And I'm going to do the other side as well. Make sure to get enough grease inside the bushings. And the same thing, I'm going to put it on. And now we're going to install the brackets on top of the bushings. And what I'm going to do, I'm also going to put a little bit of grease on the inside of here so that it's all nice and lubricated. And also it comes with a grease fitting as well. So if you have a grease gun, you're able to fill this up for some maintenance on this. It's not necessary now because I'm going to be greasing this up pretty well, but every couple of months, if you want to make sure that you're up to date with maintenance, there is a grease fitting so that you're able to use a grease gun to put more grease into here to keep this all lubricated. So I'm just going to grease up the inside of the bracket as well. And don't be afraid, again, I don't want to overdo it, but don't be afraid to be a little extra because it does come with 2 packs of grease, which is more than enough. So now this is going to lay right on top of the bushing. Very good. Now I'll open up the second grease pack so that we're able to install the other side. Okay, so we're going to grease up the inside again. So it's all nice and lubricated. And I will get a grease gun with some grease to be able to periodically keep up with maintenance on this so that it is all nice and lubricated. So now this should slide right on. It slides beautifully. And now we have both sides on. So now we're able to put the sway bar back into the car. Alright guys, so I have the rear sway bar in the car now. It's still loose, so I'm able to move it a little bit here and on this side. So now what I need to do is install the sway bar links so that I can start tightening everything up, because I need to make sure that everything is lined up correctly. But now I'm going to install these sway bar links onto the soft setting so that we can finish up this install. So getting the links in is very easy. So I have the nut loose, so I'm going to start tightening everything up. Both links are in place with the nut just resting. So I'm going to tighten these up now and make sure everything's good. Alright guys, so the sway bar links are now tight. I'm going to check the brackets just to make sure. I'm going to just snug them down. That's good. Super tight. Now the opposite side as well. Sway bar link is tight. Perfect. Now we're going to snug up the 13mm bolt that holds the sway bar link into place, and now the entire sway bar has been installed. So we're gonna see how the car feels on some more bends in the road. So far in normal driving, the car feels definitely a little more stiffer in the rear. It just feels like the rear of the car is just more planted, if that makes sense. Yeah, it feels like the car just turns in so much better, and when I'm gassing it, it just wants to go. I think that's the best way to describe. No, it feels awesome. It feels, I can't wait to take this on some good back roads and see how the car actually does, because it feels phenomenal. It feels phenomenal. It just turns in so easy now. I can't really explain it. And the car's on the softer setting. If I were to put it on the higher, more firm setting, it would be even better. Like if I were to track this car one day, I could easily just take the sway bar link and put it into the firm setting, and it would feel just so much tighter. But I mean, it just, I'm barely putting any input in the car. I can't wait to get this on some back road, guys. It's a little late today, so I haven't been able to really test it like I want to, but normal driving hasn't changed much. It just feels like the rear is a little more tight, if that makes sense. And just, it feels like the car, when you turn in and out, it just wants to go, and that's exactly what I wanted when doing this install and this mod on the car. So that's going to conclude the sway bar install, guys. It's very simple. It shouldn't take too long, and my recommendation, like I said again earlier in the video, is that you remove the back section of your catback exhaust. It gives you a lot more room to work, and you don't have to like struggle with getting the things around the exhaust. It takes 5 minutes to remove it. I highly recommend just taking them out, moving the height sensors out of the way, and you'll have more than enough room to be able to install the rear sway bar. It feels really good. I really want to get this car on some back roads very soon to really test it out and see what it's all about. But I highly recommend it because 034 Motorsport makes really good quality products. So I highly recommend you check them out. It's going to be a link below down in the description of the video. But guys, I love it. It feels really, really good. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.